Hi, fifth graders. I'm Ethan Tran, and this is lesson 10. In today's lesson, we're going to be going over multiplying decimals by a power of 10, more multiplying decimals, and even more multiplying decimals, and you guessed it, multiplying decimals. So on the first page, we're just going to be multiplying by power of 10s, which is the easiest part. So for number 1, we have 0.6 times 10. When we're multiplying by a power of 10, we can just look at how many zeros the number has. So for this one, 10 has 1 0. So what we're going to do is we're going to write the number 0.6 since it's the number that's being multiplied by. And since the number 10 has 1 0, we're just going to move the decimal to the right one time. So now that the decimal is here, we get an answer of 6. For number 6, we have the number 134.4. So we're going to write that down. And we're multiplying it by 100. And 100 has 1, 2 zeros. So we're going to move the decimal place to the right 2 times. So 1, 2. And we need to write down the 0 as a placeholder for the number since there's no number there. And now that we have our final number, it is 13,440 since we moved the decimal place to the right 2 times. For number 9, we have the number 14.129 and we're multiplying it by 1,000, which has a 3 zeros. 1, 2, 3. So we're going to move the decimal place to the right 3 times. 1, 2, 3. And we don't need to put any placeholders there. So our final answer for number 9 is 14,129. For the second page, we're going to be multiplying a decimal by a one-digit whole number. So for number 1, we have 0.5 times 3. When we're multiplying by whole numbers, we're just going to ignore the decimal place. So we're going to pretend that we have 5 times 3 since we're ignoring this decimal place. So 5 times 3 is 15. And now we can look at the decimal place again. Um, I'm going to erase this so we can see. Oops. And we see that we have only one number on the right of the decimal place. So we're going to move the decimal place from here once to the left. So for number 1, our answer is 1.5. For number 5, we have 7.6 times 5. So once again, we're going to ignore the decimal place. So we're going to read as 76 times 5. 6 times 5 is 30. So we put the 0 here, carry over the 3. 5 times 7 is 35. And when you add 3, you get 38. Once again, we look at how many numbers are on the right of this decimal place, and we see that it's only 1. So we're going to move the decimal place once to the left. So we have 38.0, which is the same thing as 38 for our answer for number 5. For number 8, we're multiplying 8.423 times 9. So once again, we're going to ignore the decimal place. So we have 8,423 times 9. 9 times 3 is 27, so we're going to carry over the 2. 9 times 2 is 18, plus 2 is 20, carry over the 2. 9 times 4 is 36, plus 2 is 38. And then 9 times 8 is 72, plus 3, which is 75. So now we look at how many numbers are on the right of the decimal place. And we have 1, 2, 3. So we're going to move the decimal place to the left 1, 2, 3 times. So that gives us a final number of 75.807. For the next page, we're going to be multiplying it by a two-digit number. It's just the same concept. So for number 1, we're multiplying 0.4 times 32. We ignore the decimal place, so it becomes 32 times 4. So 4 times 2 is 8. 4 times 3 is 12. and we look at how many numbers are on the right of the decimal place, and it's only one. So we just move the decimal place to the left one time. So for number 1, our final answer is 12.8. For number 4, we have 0.57 times 32. So once again, we ignore the decimal place, so it becomes 57 times 32. So we have 2 times 7, which is 14. So carry over the 1. 5 times 2, which is 10, plus 1 is 11. And now we put a 0 as a placeholder. And now we do 3 times 7, which is 21. And now we do 3 times 5, which is 15, plus 2, which is 17. So now we can add these up. So 4 plus 0 is 4, 1 plus 1 is 2, 1 plus 7 is 8, and 1 plus nothing is 1. So now we can look at the number with a decimal and see how many is on the right on of the decimal. And in this case, it's 1, 2 numbers. So we're going to move the decimal place to the left 1, 2 times. So for number 4, our final answer is 18.24. For number 9, we have 34.4 times 92. So once again, we're going to ignore the decimal place, so it becomes 344 times 92. So now we do 2 times 4, which is 8, 2 times 4, which is 8, 2 times 3, which is 6. So now we can put a 0 as a placeholder. Now we can do 9 times 4, which is 36, carry over the 3. 9 times 4 again is 36, plus 3 is 39. So put the 9 here, carry over the 3. 9 times 3 is 27, plus 3 is 30. So now we can add these up. So 8 plus 0 is 8. 8 plus 6 is 14, carry over to 1. 1 plus 6 plus 9 is 16, carry over to 1. 1 plus nothing is 1. And 3 plus nothing is 3. So now we look at how many numbers are on the right of the decimal place. And it's only 1, so we're going to move the decimal place to the left one time. So for number 9, our final answer is 3164.8. For the last page, we're going to be multiplying two decimal numbers, but it's still the same concept. So for number 1, we have 0.4 times 9.4. So we're going to ignore the decimal place, and it's going to become 94 times 4. So 4 times 4 is 16, carry over the 1. 4 times 9 is 36, plus 1 is 37. So now we look at both of the decimals, and we see how many numbers are on the right of each decimal place. So for this one, there's only one number, so we're going to move it once. And then there's another one on the right of this decimal place, so we move it again to the left. Number 1, our answer is 3.76. For number 4, we have 89.3 times 3.4. So once again, we ignore the decimal place. So it becomes 893 times 34. So 4 times 3 is 12, carry over the 1. 4 times 9 is 36, plus 1 is 37. 4 times 8 is 32, plus 3 is 35. We're going to put a 0 as a placeholder. And now we do 3 times 3, which is 9. 3 times 9, which is 27. And then 3 times 8, which is 24, plus 2, which is 26. So now we're going to add up these numbers. 2 plus nothing is 2. 7 plus 9 is 16. 7 plus 5 plus 1 is 13. Carry over to 1. 6 plus 3 plus 9, or 6 plus 3 plus 1 is 10. So put the 0 here, carry over to 1. And 1 plus 2 is 3. So we look at how many decimal numbers are on the right of each decimal place. So for here we have one number, and here we have another number. So that gives us two numbers in total. So we move it to the right, to the left 2 times. 1, 2. And our final answer for number 4 is 303.62. That's all for this lesson, and I hope you found this helpful.